dogs and cat are being a pain in the ass. He hopes this will always last, even bring the fun to the masses. Rolling through 1-2, then beating every dungeon classes. With his goofy faces and voice all over the places, he hopes to never give up on his dreams. To bring joy and even the facts to his last podcast every week, and stream his friends to bring that energy like big booty claps. He never gets angry, but sure can get scared. With anime on his side, is always prepared, even though he's the grumpiest of bears. This bear is always cool in his share. Till the end, his streams always be there. Cause he coming after you and hopes you'll be there. To hope you'll have a good day, a good night, and as always have a good life. Much love. Good night, good night, good night, good night. Much love. Have a good night, good life. Grumpy Bear has always been there, even when life isn't fair, even when no one is there. He's thinking of you with love and care. Even if he say like I care, he still give you a big hug with love and care. With his kind words, is never a
Alrighty then, this is the Bearthoughts podcast. We do this every Friday at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. For those who are new to this channel, if you haven't already hit the like button, subscribe button, we would appreciate it. And today, we are also sponsored by Zone Zero. If you're not seeing that, I streamed this game yesterday. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of experience to try out the new patch. So if you haven't already, hit the link down below on PC. So if you pretty much can download on anybody's computer, please do sure to download it down there and be sure to try it today. But thank you for those who are here.
BotRix has correctly joined the channel.
Thanks, BoxRix, for joining the channel. BoxRix is a mod program or little thing to help me, take care of the stuff while I'm streaming. But Southeast playing it with. But as always, we have the illustrious Corvo Ninja with us. Kind of bodied, half-bodied stealth elf Jade as always. Thank you for joining today.
Lost the freaking head.
She lost head. Wow, that's not gonna come off anywhere as weird.
Thank you, BotRix.
I lost the head, okay? Better find it.
Okay, Corvo, quickly, what's the name of it real quick? Is it Gifts?
Yeah.
Okay, anyways.
It says gifts at the end. Now,
Yeah, gotcha.
Two
Yes,
in there, you should unzip them, and
yeah.
you only have one thing. You have to promise not to bitch, because I've got you on podcast, motherfucker.
I'm gonna bitch anyways.
I know.
So thank you for joining today. We have an interesting conversation. I have a couple of here, and I want to first let's get into it. Corvo, do you have anything you want to chit chat? Because mine might be a little bit of a rant.
I'm free. Go ahead.
Okay, so you know what a protected people are, right?
Yeah.
You know what a protected people are, and do you know what PTDS is?
PTSD?
Yes.
Yes. Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Do you know anybody that ever had it? Let me just go over that. Do you know it? You do.
I've had it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Think about what you know about me and that big event in my life. Yes, I had.
Do you think that's a fun experience? Do you think
no?
Okay. And do you think that since you have it, would you want anyone to attack yours to relive that thing? Shell shock is fun.
I would tell you like this. I wouldn't advise them to do that.
Do you know anybody that was ever in the military that had it?
I know a shitload of people in the military that had it. Half the people in my family and most of my friends.
Okay. So let's just, I'm building up a scenario here. So you had a personal experience, so you know what it feels like. You know what people in your family or friends that might have had it or had to deal with it, and they're all like, and does it ever really go away? Like, does it ever just
No,
stop?
what'll happen, what can happen. This has been my experience and what people that I've talked to has told me. It doesn't really go away. Now, with time, effort, and patience on behalf of people around you, it can get to where it doesn't present itself hardcore as often.
Yeah,
but it's going to happen because it's a
part of you.
It's part of you. It's something that you live through. It's a personal experience that that made your life what it is.
And if this is like something that similar happens, does it bring up those memories, or
Yeah,
is it? Okay,
absolutely.
I don't have it, so I don't know.
Absolutely. I'll give you a case in point. Sometimes when I'm watching a movie and
Yeah.
it has a similar
Maybe
event as to what I went through, sometimes I will actually get up and leave the room for a little bit because it'll pull me into an emotional state,
Mm,
and I don't want to be in that state. And a lot of that also, like as it goes on, it's um as you get older and the longer the time between, sometimes one time you may see something and it won't trigger it because mentally you're a little happier, a little more grounded, and a little more there. And then if you have like a bad day at work where you're really depressed, you're really down, you're not feeling it real good, and then that same thing that you seen that was fine the other day happens that day, it'll trigger it.
okay, so
So
it's never leaving.
it has to do with you mentally where you're at the time that you experience the triggering event,
Okay.
and so on.
All right, so it never really goes away. It can be go dormant, it go docile, but once that kind of thing reminds you of it, your brain will start going about it, right? So
Yeah,
it's not a fun experience. It could be in any way or form. Now,
absolutely a shit experience.
this is just the truth in any place in any situation. People do stuff that is sometimes can be seen in the wrong eye, right? Sometimes they're seen
Yeah,
in the wrong eye, but they did it for the just reasons, right? It seems
right,
at the time to be the right choice, but they might have some regrets.
right,
That's just how it is. But if you're benefiting off of their choice, if you are better off for them doing it, knowing that they did something, even though they might have some regrets for doing it, but now they have PTSD. Should you bash them for having done that, even though they did it for you, but now they have PTSD?
no,
No. Okay. So this has come down all wrap around because there was a certain streamer, a female streamer. I'm not gonna say what her religion is or anything like that. We're not going. It's not political, but she wished on stream, live in front of everybody, that anybody that's doing things to help people or help save people's life or anything like that will come back to America and have PTSD for the rest of their life and be tormented the rest of their lives because of their choices and actions right now, live on
why
stream.
would you wish that on someone?
I am saying the same exact thing. Why would anybody wish for their minds, even though they're doing it to try to help people, right? In any format, whether it be one person or another, you try to help people, and you're wanting them to have this traumatized thing for the rest of their life and being done. It's like saying a R victim, the R word, having that traumatized the rest of their life. That's something you want to experience the rest of your life. It's not good.
Right,
So why would you want that? Even if they have a mind of like, oh, I know I did something wrong, or in some facet or another, but you still, if they didn't have that regret, you still want them to have. Of course, are live on stream too. It's like, do people online just need to go to such an extreme for fame and popularity online?
I'll say this. It depends on a lot of information that we don't currently have, or at least in my case.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like anything you want to add, any question you might have. I dug deep into this.
Now, if, for example, they're referring to the fact that they're doing something wrong, they know it is wrong, and they're still doing it trying to help you, then, in a sense, I can get behind understanding why she chose that. Do
Hmm.
I think that's a good idea? No, because obviously no one should wish mental illness on anybody else. That's kind of the point. However, there's sometimes where, and let's say I know I've said shit that probably should not have been said. Yes. Especially with people that I really, really dislike. For example, a murderer. Would I technically want to wish PTSD on them? Yeah, maybe. Okay, not gonna say I'm not. I'm not gonna lie. Does that mean that I should verbally say that though, or
Yeah.
actually wish for that to happen?
Yes. Like
That's
it's like
more of a like, you towing that line.
well, why are you saying it
Oh well.
online? And you're almost purposely trying to do something bad to get a limelight. And I'm in a mindset, if you do that kind of stuff, it shouldn't be a 30-day ban. They got a 30-day ban. Now, they are a big channel. They are really, popularly known. They live in America, right? So they benefit off these people's back. And they said it online while benefiting off of what we as Americans we take for granted every single day. We take for granted for full
And
stop.
that shit. Okay, there is a difference in your personal opinion and putting that personal opinion out there for everyone else.
Hmm.
Okay, like I'm not going to say that my personal opinion isn't harsh a lot of times. Okay,
Or flawed.
or flawed, but I'm not going to go on this podcast and tell someone watching our podcast that opinion
Hmm.
about them or about things they've done because I don't know every single thing about the event.
Hmm.
So I'm forming it off of what I do know. So
Yeah.
it could be flawed.
Again, if
B,
anybody wants
if
to look
I
this up, go
B,
sure to look it up. 'Cause
B,
Mhm.
if I do know everything and technically it's not flawed, while I may feel a certain kind of way about it, it is not my place to put it out there for them to then be attacked by multiple people about it.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, that's one of those things you do face to face. Like you don't go or walking through town and tell everybody I'm pissed off because fuckhead has no eyebrows and I want to beat the shit out of him because he looks like a dwarf. You don't do that
Yeah.
because then everybody else that might feel the same way, it turns into a gang up event. Okay, which doesn't help the situation.
Yeah.
If you
And so
truly have a problem with it, then I should come knock on your door, look you dead in the fucking face, and be like, "Your eyebrows is ugly, you're short, and you smell like a damn dwarf."
yeah. So their argument is, and I'm trying to get too much into it. So again, if anybody's curious about it, go look this up. You will know who she is when you see her. Their other mindset is if you have regret, right? I hope you're good. You're fine. You're right. Even though you might have PTSD, I hope you're fine. But if you don't have no regret at all, I wish you the worst of worst. Even though in your mind, right, like, hey, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. Even though some people might see this wrong, I'm doing the right thing. I'm trying to help people here. A certain people, certain side, right?
Right.
Like it's like a police officer saying they are a victim. Either you are for the R person or you for the victim.
Agreed.
But if you're with the victim, you villainize the R person. But what if you're with the R person, right? What do you think they're doing the right thing? No, the both sides. It's bad. It's bad regardless. But you shouldn't wish it on anybody unless that person is doing something that's truly evil. Being the R
Right.
person, you are doing something truly evil. And it's never good, but I don't know. I'm conflicted here. She's trying to say like, oh, it's fine in one way, but yeah, if you're doing it and you have regret, but if you I don't feel sympathy for any person that's doing the R thing. I have no sympathy at all if you have regret, if you did the R thing at all. And this is the same way with this kind of scenario. If anybody's doing it, right? It's like, well, I can have sympathy for that because I don't really know what their cause is, right? They might be, they might have family members and other situations that might be coming to
Here's
play.
the thing when you're saying about the art thing, though. What if they don't realize they did that?
Oh, well, yeah, that's always a good thing. Psychologically, there could be some like crazy person out there that needs to be checked in, and too many of those places have been closed down. Yeah, that's always important. They could be a victim of their own past. So that's always a possibility. I just know we don't have sympathy for it because you
I
just
mean,
how I'm kind of raised.
I'm not saying that this excuses the behavior by no means. Obviously, it is still wrong no matter what. But a lot of the a lot of the ones that do it, I'm not saying that like all or the majority, but a lot of them had that happen to them in their past.
I can see that.
Right. Hell, some of them are raised up with it happening so regularly that they don't even realize that it's not something you do. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for them, it's a normal part of their life. Now that doesn't excuse it, not by them or the people that caused it, by to them.
Yeah.
What that means is that person needs help so they can understand what.
Yeah, it's like a cycle of violence. I'm sure if it's a cycle of violence of any more, it will continue on down the line until someone finally breaks that cycle. And people
Yeah.
will say, well, no matter what it is, it's wrong, it's bad. Yeah, but could there ever be a side of it where it's a cycle? Like somebody just couldn't figure out how to stop it? I can see that. Just like with the W word, I'm watching my words here just in case somebody doesn't understand.
No, you're good. We get it.
It's a cycle that some nations just cannot break from. It's ever going. It's never stopping. And I feel like it's almost, now that we bring this up, I feel like this whole dramatizing, fighting, thing that's on YouTube and on Twitch, especially on live streams, that people are trying to get popularized by starting drama it's a same kind of scenario. It's never stopping. It's a continuous cycle that you have to do something bad and do something and say something heinous and say something wrong to keep themselves popularized and in the limelight of our media, of our online entertainment. We're just so explosive nowadays. And
Agreed.
why is no one breaking that cycle going, okay, we've had this drama for long enough, y'all just stop, or we're just like perma-banning anybody and everybody. Just do it. I don't want to the point of this. Why are we letting this keep on occurring? And people benefiting and cashing off of it.
You're going to the extreme with that as well, though.
Huh? Say again? I didn't hear that.
You're going to the extreme.
She said, but even that is going to an extreme to an extent.
Oh, okay. Doing this an extreme. Gotcha. I don't know. I'd rather play the villain to try to stop a greater evil than play a hero to try to talk it out. I don't know. I've been seeing it so long online, and people benefiting from right. Her name is even more well known, and when the 30-day ban's up, more people are gonna know about her, and more people to go and gravitate to go see what she has, or people that are agreeance with her will go gravitate and go watch her and be in an echo chamber of agreeance and sway people's minds in a, I think, harmful. In my opinion, I think that's pretty harmful. I don't know. Chat, you let me know. Do you think it's harmful? You think people should be talking about that kind of way, that kind of extremism in online, or should we go back to like showing off cool things? What about cool things? Playing cool things. I don't know. I think we need to go back to that kind of entertainment where
it's one thing to have a discussion. It's another thing to echo chamber.
Yeah, there's a lot of echo chambers on Twitch.
Yeah.
Because even that girl, she's a moderator for another big channel, and all their channels all talk about the same thing, but they all moderate for one specifically really big channel guy, and he's totally political on his stream, 100%. He does not wish anything good, and everybody's starting to noticing a bit of a click and a pattern, and everybody's like going, okay, this guy's the one that started all of it. He needs to go. And I don't know if I disagree with that. It's like, can we not just like have a civil conversation, but at the same time not wish for terrible things and bad things, and be laughing again, be joking again? I don't know.
But see, and that's the thing. We as a society kind of caused this ourselves, as far as like the echo chambering and shit, and the negativity being what people are cycling, because we started putting a lot of emphasis out there in the news, the media, and all different types of things when bad shit happened. Okay. And, you know, and granted, we need to know when bad shit happens, but it shouldn't have been like 5 or 6 days of 2-hour runs of all this horrific shit. They didn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
They could have gave it to us in one little hour, 2-hour segment and left it. But
Mm-hmm.
because they kept putting a spotlight on it, people realized that this shit is getting traction. So let me go over here and make some negative shit and I'll get traction. And
Yeah.
then this person seen it work for them too, and it just kept on and on and on. And now we've gotten to a point where, unless there's some kind of negative connotation to whatever's going on, we don't think that it's going to get us anywhere with our goal.
Let's
Mhm.
put it this way, Grumpy. As you said, sex sells, right?
Yes.
That's a negative.
Yes,
Let's
it
be
is.
honest.
Yes, it is.
There we go. Negative sells.
Yeah.
Very, very rarely does the positive win over the negative, because everybody wants to see that somebody else has got it worse than them. If you
Mhm.
want me to be honest,
Or see someone fall.
they all want to see. They all want to know that they're not the ones living the shittiest life possible. Makes
Uh-huh.
them feel better about themselves.
See, if somebody's in a war-torn country or something, they shouldn't be, yelling and trying to get attention. That is by no means.
And that's a different situation. That is not just I'm trying to do this or that or the other. This is me literally trying to survive in that situation. But
Or
on
some war-torn or some other, like, for example, the R victim.
Mm-hmm.
That happens. That should be known. That should be yelled about. But because everything negative sells so much, and there's always some negative thing happening, that's all that fucking, it drowns everything else out.
Yeah. That's why protected groups should be a thing. And by the way, if everybody does not know, PD or PT, I'm getting the acronyms wrong.
PTSD.
Yeah, that is a protected class on Twitch. So if you do talk about it and attack that group of people and whatever, you will be banned. I am not attacking them. I am defending them. So anybody gets it twisted, I don't see how you could, but it's online. And with the sex scene, it's like, a video game that has a little bit of sex in it, right? Like it's sexualized, right? But then it's sexualized and now it's a porn. That's an extreme, right? We take it from when it's like, oh, she's very attractive, she's very hot, to okay, now they're playing with the banana. We're gonna keep that as an inside joke if anyone's not watching. We're gonna play with the banana. Now you went to the extreme. Now you're going over with it, and you're overstepping your bounds and being a negative. Well, truly, really hardcore negative. I'm not saying any sexualizing can't be a negative. But
it's not right. No matter the reason, it's not right. But people have to also remember that not everybody that does it is doing it because they're just out there thinking that's what they do. There are people that have mental conditions and or behavioral conditions that they were conditioned in life that may have led them to it. Now they still shouldn't do it. 100% wrong. But in some cases, those people need help to know that they're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
You know? And then you have the fucking creepers that do it knowing it's wrong. And I won't get into my personal thoughts on those fuckheads, but they don't want to ever run into me.
College was pretty one of those. Preston says, my personal opinion, I am a post, but I do not regret. What I cannot change is in past actions. Negative are referred to media because we are all a little screwed up, and also a way to desensitize us or desensitize us. Yeah, thank you. I can totally see that, and I don't know. I just remember when I first got on the internet, I was looking up a bunch of cool things. I was looking up what people could make. People were doing, like, cool tricks, cool magic, cool art. Like, I was all about that. And it's just at what point did I finally realized, like, it went from all that cool stuff to now it's just I can't go a day without seeing something that makes me upset. Right, makes me uncomfortable. It's like I don't want to do that every single day. I don't want to feel that.
Right.
I want to feel laughing. I want to feel good.
Right.
And
Which is why I was trying to get you to look at those files.
Show
Mhm.
me.
And I want to be appreciated that what I have in my life. Because who wants to be inappreciative of what they have in their life? I feel like everybody should be appreciative that they're not dead and not on the side of the curb
I'm not
somewhere.
dead.
Oh yeah. So that's just, we should be uplifting each other. And when I heard that, and of course, Asmongold, I can say his name, he said some things online that though it may be true what he said online, I'll give you a rough estimate of what he might have said online just so you can get a contact here. That a certain religion has a violent tendency, a religion, right? And he doesn't like religion in general, but a certain religion has a very violent tendency. It's in their religion to do these actions, do these things, and he didn't feel bad for them. But problem is, what about the other people that are also in that religion, or that are peaceful and kind and loving people? They're very nice. But so you're gonna say the bad apples spoil the basket, right? Is that the saying? The bad basket spoil the basket, or is it a different
One
saying?
bad apple can spoil the bunch. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, yes, there's some good ones, but there's also some bad ones, and we're gonna ignore those. So he got banned off of Twitch for a little bit.
We got to worry about from here up.
So, like, what do you feel like if someone speaks something that's the truth, even though it's in a negative light, should you be banned from that? That's hard, right? It's really hard.
That's
It's
a
hard.
hard one. That's a hard one because you don't. Truth is truth, and
Yes.
truth should be known. But at the same time,
Sometimes softening. is
sometimes the truth can also cause harm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I mean by that is the way the truth is presented, to whom it's presented, how it's presented, and in what environment it's presented. All those play factors. Like I can give you a truth and you're good with it. But if I present that truth in an environment that may make you already be in a different mindset, you might not be good with it. You know?
Yeah.
Everything you have to take into account everything. It's not just the fact I'm telling you the truth. It's how I'm telling you, where I'm telling you, who you're around when I tell you, the mindset you're in when I tell you.
Yeah.
You know? Because I can tell you the truth all damn day long, but if you're in the mindset that you don't want to hear what I'm saying, it ain't gonna do a damn bit of good.
Mm.
You know, I can try to tell you the truth about something all day long, but if you're already depressed and you're already in a mood, you'll hear me, but you'll disagree with me just on principle because that's the mood you're in.
Or I've already come to my own conclusion, no matter
Right.
what you might say.
No matter what I say, you've already fixed your own opinion to it. So while the truth should be known, people have to understand the truth does not always sway, though.
Yeah.
Just because you know it's the truth, just because you can prove it's the truth, doesn't mean someone else is going to accept your truth.
Yeah. Or there's a side of the truth. I've always said there's, one thing may be true, but a lot of other things may not be, or there might be a lot of things. So it's like, yeah, that's true. But the rest of it is what it is, right? Like, we can't really change that. What? What's going on here?
She's fixing to do a test run of my Sith makeup while we're talking.
Okay, gotcha.
So
okay.
you get a little entertainment with podcast today, guys. Yay!
So so there's two other people that like I want to talk about on Twitch, and again, I told you, be a bit of a rant, and I'm noticing some things here. And by the way, the CEO of Twitch is people already been asking this guy to step down. They already want him to quit or get fired. Like, they already want him gone because they ban these people from saying these things online when they should be allowed to say these things online, as if that's a good reason. I'm sorry. I'm with the CEO on this one. I think he did the right thing to ban these people. I think some of them, extreme, right? Permabans.
Right.
But when I say, okay, you don't permaban these people, But these two next people I'm about to talk about, you permaban these guys. Now, there's one group called Fresh and Fit. I've seen some of their stuff. Let me give you a rundown. These people do. These guys go out in town, go out in their city, ask some girls who are out in clubs, out in bars, these are some very attractive looking girls, and ask them to come back to this podcast, and they talk about guy and girl relationship and problems they have in relationships and their opinions on things, right?
Right.
So they're very much that's their conversation of like trying to tell these girls like they're in the wrong, that they should treat guys better, they should be treating themselves better, they should be doing all these things that they do out in town. And they were banned at one time, and Twitch decided finally to unban them. Well, within 24 hours of them being banned on Twitch, when they do this kind of podcast, they were permanent banned off of Twitch. Not just banned, but perma-banned off of Twitch for talking about things about relationships and, whether or not they should be doing these things, and treating guys certain ways and have these certain opinions. There is a big old discussion piece. Now, sometimes it gets a little heated, right? But it's nothing.
Right.
It's nothing like wishing for someone to have a mental problem for the rest of their life.
Right.
Something more extreme. But they were perma-banned. But another guy that's friends with Fresh and Fit has the same kind of conversation, but it's just chatting, just like me and you, just chatting, talking with a bunch of his viewers, having the same kind of opinions about certain people, certain relationship, and all that kind of thing. So they do the same exact thing, and they had the same exact thing happen to them. They got banned at one time. Again, I'm not defending them. I'm not saying that what they're talking about is like my cup of tea, but like it's your right to talk about it because I don't think it's truly horrible. But was banned, was unbanned, and then permanent ban within 24 hours of them being unbanned. Talking about the same stuff they've always talked about and having the same kind of crazy conversation with their chat as always.
See, I feel like that is a direct result of somebody with a certain amount of power exerting itself.
It's like you don't like that conversation when it's not.
I feel like it started out as we need to reprimand them in some way. So they did like you said, a little short ban.
Yeah.
And they came back, and then somebody else with a little more clout, a little more ass behind them, they looked at it and said, "No, I don't like this shit at all. We're not gonna do this. We're gonna kick this in the bucket outright. We're done." Right?
Yeah.
Now I don't know. I'm of the mind that if you're gonna permaban them, they get permabanned. Don't play around and give them a 3-day ban, then bring them back for 24 hours just to get rid of them permanently.
Yeah.
That to me, that's sending the wrong message. That's like saying I can punish you, and then later if somebody else don't like the punishment you got, we can punish you again for the exact same offense, even if you haven't recommitted it. I'm of the mind that whatever you're doing, you need to do equally and in one shot. So like if I'm gonna ban you for 3 days, I'm banning you for 3 days. At the end of that 3 days, it's not gonna be I'm just gonna go out there and permaban you 24 hours later because somebody tells me to.
Yeah.
The only way that I would escalate it is if I reached out to you and said, "Hey, you remember how you got banned the other day for 3 days? And I asked you not to do what you did again. Here's the video clip that we seen of you doing it again. Now I have no choice." It's not going to be just, "Hey, fuck it. 24 hours later, you know what? Fuck it. I wasn't satisfied with it. You're done." I'm not going to just do that.
My thoughts is if these people like that's their bread and butter, right? That's how they roll. That's how their conversations go, right? Even off the platform on other platforms, they still do the same stuff. But you pretty much invite them back by unbanning them, right? You come back and wanting them to change their, in this case, change their spots, change their leopard. No, they're gonna talk about the same stuff. So if you know they're gonna talk about the same stuff, do the same stuff.
What? Don't bring them back.
Why
Don't
even
do
bring?
that.
Yeah, why even bring them back? That you know they're gonna talk about that. And if
Always
someone,
turn around and do it again.
yeah, and if somebody like reports it, right, saying, "Hey, they're talking about this thing I don't like," well, maybe you shouldn't be watching their channel if it isn't for you. It's not for
Right.
me. I'm not gonna go to their channel and start
Right.
bashing on it and then report their channel. They're talking about things I don't like. No, that's what their channel's about. Do I
No, man, we
support
gotta
it?
go and listen to shit that we don't want to hear, so we have an excuse to bitch about it. Don't you understand? That's how
No.
we work as society, you know. I mean, it would be like me saying I don't like the way our D&D campaign is if I'm an external person watching it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it if I don't like it. I'm not gonna go sit in there only to have something to bitch about. That's wasted time and energy. I get enough of that shit every day at work and in life. You know,
hmm
take a break. Fucking find something that makes you happy instead of something that you got to bitch about that you don't like.
Yeah, I'm just so annoyed with that kind of like if it's drama, I don't really care for drama. Everybody knows that. But if it's drama and that's what you're into, you want to talk about it, have a discussion about it. Go watch that, right? Go do that. But I'm not asking you to go. Hey, I like Genshin Impact. I like Zenless Zone Zero, sponsored by the way. Don't have the little thing up here. I need to. But I'm not gonna have someone go into my channel and start bitching at me that I'm not playing like Call of Duty or I'm not playing, let's say Overwatch or something. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I've had people pop in because I was playing a Zelda game and raise hell because I'm not playing a Final Fantasy. You know as well as I do, I love Final Fantasy, but I didn't feel like playing fucking Final Fantasy. I
yeah.
wanted to play Zelda.
So let me
If you don't
play.
like it, go
Yeah,
somewhere else.
but I'm not gonna say, hey, you don't like that. So let's now, okay, this is just a little of a thought experiment here, right? Let's say, a large group of people start complaining about Zelda games, they're terrible, they're horrible, and they start getting, they start, sending a bunch of messages to Twitch, going, hey, you should ban Zelda, you should ban Zelda, and it's starting to getting let's say a loud minority, right? And Zelda, and then Twitch eventually, I would say cowers down to it or goes and comes to agreement and they start banning a bunch of people that play Zelda games. Does it make Zelda games bad at that point?
No,
No.
no,
So it started to become a group think, right? Start becoming a group a thought experiment, but also a group think, a echo chamber. And that echo chamber
right,
gets louder and louder, and then Twitch falls down to it. So if you don't like, right, if you don't want the conversation of people talking about, promiscuism or being an escort or girls or guys being very active in a certain fruition or certain way,
right,
you don't like that, then don't go watch it. It's just
right.
that simple. But since
That
that
would
group
be.
thinks it's bad, we gotta get rid of it.
Here's the thing. That would be like taking someone that is firmly against horror as a genre and them going and watching every horror movie there is. Why the fuck would you do that? Why?
Good point. Oh,
You
that
know?
sounds funny. It's like I hate
I
horror
mean,
movies. Then why are you watching?
I mean, it's like Stealthy will tell you I'm not the biggest fan of most comedy. Okay, I'm not. So I am very picky about the comedy that I watch. I am not going to watch comedy that does not suit me.
Yes.
I just don't do that. Because why would I do that?
Uh-huh.
Um. So my to the point is what I'm trying to say is you got two problems. One, if they are doing something that they shouldn't be doing, it needs to be addressed. And two, if it's not something so strong that it needs to be addressed, then why just don't watch it? Go
Mm-hmm.
somewhere else that you can find what you do like. I
Mm-hmm.
like D&D. I like Zelda. I like Final Fantasy. That doesn't mean I'm going to spend all of my time sitting in a Halo fucking chat and stream channel.
Yeah. And say mine is like, okay, y'all well know, everybody's been watching me before. I don't mind an attractive looking woman. I don't mind it at one bit. I like attractive women. I don't go watch attractive women on Twitch. It's not my forte, it's not my thing. But at the same time, I know there's kids on here, so that's why I'm like, maybe it shouldn't be on Twitch because it's kind of easy access for kids.
Right.
It's not like it's very hard. That's the only reason why I'm against the idea of these people doing these kind of things, knowing there might be kids and getting popularized off of it, just to just to direct them to their OF channel. If anybody doesn't know what OF means, I'm sorry. Go look it up. I don't know what to tell you. So it's that kind of thing. But I'm not gonna go to their channel, start dramatizing it, start getting angry and asking them to ban these girls that are doing these things online. Unless they do something like a nip slip or a V slip or anything else kind of slippage or obvious thing that they're doing, because you see it in the glass behind them. Everybody knows that video. That's still my most popular video to this day, and I'm not really proud of that. But I'm just saying, it's just the truth is just the truth, and they're not popular, thank goodness. You know that the girl that did that, she didn't become famous and like become really big on Twitch. Thank goodness. So at least that's a positive, right? Someone didn't take drama and make themselves rich and famous for it. But I don't understand why you bring people that you don't like what they're talking about and what they do. You bring them back 24 hours, you ban them permanently. I think that's entirely wrong and unnecessary. Corvo's starting to put actual fear in my heart. So is there? Okay, I got. That's supposed to be for it's Dragon. Okay. Sorry if you hear that noise. That's Discord for the Halloween event, which I found out all that music and sounds are from Halloween. So they do this every year. They have different chimes and music for the season, and right now it's Halloween, obviously, which Corvo is testing his makeup for Halloween, of course. That's why I got wondering if everybody's watching this. That's what they're doing right now. He's being a Sith. The Stealthy's trying to do her best canvas art for her makeup. I can't wait to see the white on it. You're gonna do white, right, Stealthy? You can start putting white on eventually.
It's more of a grayish white. It's more like it's supposed to have like a powder finish.
Yeah,
it's not supposed to be like a grease white face paint. She's trying to blend some different colors out from where the darkness is supposed to be around the socket.
Chin, I see. Okay. So emphasizing the chin, I see too.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much longer we got, honey. So getting me a minute on that. Okay. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I just think I don't want Twitch to tighten the belt when it comes to everything. But at the same time, I think they should stick to their own rules that they have already set place. And just because, someone on their platform may not agree with their rules, if their rules said that, the people that moderate and control Twitch, the people that actually do the banning, need to follow that rule and not play favoritism when it comes to, I don't like that, even though the rule says that's fine. And in one case, it's the exact opposite. They're cool with it, but Twitch's rules say that's not.
It shouldn't be a double standard.
Yeah. And it's totally a double standard. And again, I don't like these people myself personally. I don't watch their content. I don't agree with what they say. I don't agree with most of the things they say. Doesn't mean I'm gonna stop them from being able to say it.
Right.
And it's just like I don't believe political, religious, and education should be talked about in streams and otherwise. I don't think it should be talked about. I thought it was a standard rule, but yet there's still people that do talk about those things, knowing that will get them attention, whether it be a negative or positive. It'll still get them way more attention than me and you talking about
that. Like I said, that goes back to the fact that we shined a light early on in society that negative things get attention, and it's just steamrolled since there.
Yeah, we should have turned off the light a long time ago. Well, the turn off the light might be turn off the internet. I like the internet. There's a lot of positive with it, but if negatives always shine in your face every single day, you forget what all the positive things are. Like this channel. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like this kind of conversation. Let's not going brush forward, clowns. Yeah, there's a lot of clowns on the internet, and promise a lot of people are dancing to the puppet strings, right, or the puppeteer string. Clown is definitely playing with
You can
puppets, and y'all
bring
all
all up on
dance
it.
with
I
it,
know. I
and
was looking at something.
it's getting old real quick. So if you were out there and you're watching online,
Is that what you're
call it
trying to
out
do? Yeah, I
when
was
you
trying
see
to
it's wrong.
see like a light tapping of gray across the black, what it would do.
But don't play double standard just because you don't always agree with it, and then be agree with other things that people don't. It's just you're
Don't like
either
it
all the way or nothing at all. And I'm a man of
at
I think
all.
you should be able to talk about anything you want to as long as you're not
I really
wishing
like
for
the way
someone's
you
death.
did this. Like you could take the outer ring off. I really like the way you did the bruised red here. I like that. And if the black was just heavier, more solid, that would be perfect in my opinion.
What's the name of this character so I can get a grasp of it one more
There,
time?
there's not a. It's not. It's custom.
Oh,
He's just
okay.
he's a custom Sith Lord. There is not a Sith Lord out there that's gonna really look this way. I'm taking a couple of different looks from a couple of different ones and kind of mixing them together to
Yeah.
make my own. And you have to realize that I'm gonna have a half mask if I can get it done in time from here down. So you're only gonna see like here up.
It definitely
And
feels
then
like a more of a human Sith Lord when they
yeah.
when
Yeah,
they
and
have
he'll be a human Sith Lord.
yeah. So the human Sith Lords are not like have a bunch of face paint or a bunch of crinkles and tattoos. You're gonna have more of the like almost dying pale skin with a bunch of veins and redness and whiteness to it, and it's almost sickly looking. You almost want to say it. When it
Yeah.
comes to human Sith, unless you're Palpatine, then you're just an all white wrinkled face. A little bit of red around your eyes, a little bit of red. Well, kind of orange is red, but I'm just looking at some Sith right now. So,
That's a great bruise like pattern though, right there. That red and all that you mix right here.
red and purple, yeah,
See it?
yeah,
Look like somebody knocked the shit out of me right there.
yeah. The red and purple really helps out the bruise. But okay, so anybody does not know, Corvo and Southie are dressing up for their Halloween event. Not today, but the Halloween event at their job. They're gonna go on one as a Sith Lord, the other one's going as a I forget. Her character's a Jedi, right?
Yep, she's going as a Jedi.
So that's what they're trying to practice here. So yeah, do it all those over again. So you got to remember what you did when you're doing it, because I know for me, if I
She's
do
gonna
something
take a picture of it. I know her.
yeah. Well, I've done things before in the past and gone, oh man, that looked cool. I gotta remember how I did that, and I go back and going, how I did that again? Shoot, and I want to recopy the look or feel of it, and I forget entirely. Like, oh
Oh,
man, I don't remember.
I can totally tell you that I know I've done that on more than one occasion.
See, knowing a Sith makes me fear less. Fearful less. Okay, so I've got that out the way. Now, don't really have very much to talk about afterwards, because that was kind of like a big, long tangent
Right.
of mine.
Well, how about this? Let's talk about what you found in the folder.
I have not opened it yet because I was waiting for it to download.
You're gonna get in trouble.
Okay, where's head? Head. Okay, head. Sounds dirty every time I say that.
Well, you know.
Okay, it's taking a long time, and it's you son of a. I feel like you're gonna get that one.
I'm gonna guarantee that you got it.
I swear to God, if this shows up on the website and it's gonna be like, oh, there it is. Okay, so everybody does not know, I am I like Chinese and Japanese mythos. I really find them very fun. The Journey to the West is not my like all-time favorite, but it's definitely one of the big favorites of mine. And I'm also a big Dragon Ball Z fan, so this might not know Dragon Ball Z was based off the Journey to the West. Goku is apparently Wukong, and there's a model that I saw online that someone took like they did it like almost a full was it a 1/4 scale? I think it's like
Yeah,
this
I
tall,
think it was like a quarter scale.
or a quarter scale, or 1/4 scale of Wukong, and they pin it up, and it looks so good. And I still want the freaking game. It's on GTA for kind of cheaper, but sponsored by them too, by the way. Just anybody who's It's in my Twitch
Yeah.
channel. If you want to hit me up with that, so I get a kickback if you buy anything from
All
there.
right, there you go. Imagine the black mask, half, covering the lower half in the red contacts.
Okay, so you're not gonna do the kind of like palish white up here.
We probably will, but there's
Do
no.
you want me to try to do that?
I don't think there's a point in doing it right now. The
Here,
pale
follow me.
white is easy because it's just going to be, you're going to lay it down and then lay this over it.
Mm-hmm. I would say
Um,
you can almost do a powder. If you have like a white powder, just pop, 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 pop.
yeah, a
We don't have a
a powder would be really easy because. But here she's going to put a little bit of white up there so you can kind of get an idea. Hang on.
But yeah, so I want to play Black Myth Wukong, and okay, we can kind of jump into this the other day. So games on Steam is you can track it on how many people are playing it in any given day and given time, right? There's a chart that shows
Right.
how many people are playing this game. And
Yeah.
I saw someone on Twitch, a clip of it, of a viewer going, the game has lost like over 200,000 players on it. This is a dead game now, right? Because there's nobody very much playing this game anymore. And a guy's like, you know how damaging that is? It's not. It's not damaging because this is a beginning to end story. It's not always online. People play it to get to play from the beginning to play to the end, and that's
Right.
what they're satisfied about. What numbers you should be looking at is how much it's sold for. And
Right.
he was saying how much it was almost, I would say toxic, but it was almost like making us dumber when we look at how much games die and live on any given day. And then if it's not always alive, not hundreds of thousands of people playing the game every single day, it immediately makes the game bad.
No. That doesn't make the game bad. Hell, there's games out there right now that I play regularly that ain't no fucking body playing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But yeah, I'm thinking it's because too many kids are so fixated on, and of course game developers are kind of the same. If the game isn't always having someone play it, being aka always online, it almost makes it like it's not a game worthwhile making, and it's not a good game just because you can't be playing it 24 hours a day, playing online with your friends and your your I would say your associates, more like it.
Right.
I think that's a bad way to be thinking about video games. That at any given time, a game could go from millions of players playing it to a quarter of that, and people just go, well, the game must suck now. It's like, it just sucks. No, it didn't suck. It just people beat it. People found what they got. They got what they enjoyed out of it, and they moved on to the next game. The problem is,
Right.
with a lot of games being online, they can always go back to that game that's online because that game's always going. There is no end. There's just going. And I think
there's no stopping because that's just how it goes,
Mhm.
But it's not. I don't think the true test of a game is if it's always online and there's always on it. I think the true test of the game is how often will people go back and play it again.
Yeah, or like how long the game will be. Like it's like Skyrim, right? People are always buying Skyrim, but it also people are always buying it, right? It's how much money you make in total. Yeah, that's it. Only thing I would say left is maybe like a black border around the hairline to try to differentiate the rest of the face and kind of focus down to it. So when she does it again, a little black border around the hairline.
No, because we just tried that with the other, and you notice it.
Well, could you do like
You
a light
notice it
powder?
more.
Notice it
You
more?
notice the black more because of that. Or
Okay.
the hair difference between the colors more.
Okay. I was just
Because I
saying
tried it with the brown, and you immediately said, you should be more ashen, and I was like, okay.
Well,
So
from a camera point of
basically,
view, it looks like a black to me. Okay. Well,
But yeah, I can see if we had a powder like a white powder and then could do this over the top of it,
yeah.
it would look much better. But
Do
you
this-
know,
There you
you're
go.
only
Yeah, okay.
this is what you're gonna get with red contacts
Yeah.
and braids.
Wouldn't that insinuate the games made on old system like PS1 are bad games? Yes, that's what they're pretty much insinuating. Even though a lot of channels that are growing up on YouTube and on Twitch sometimes are older games like the PS1 games, the 64 games. Hell, there was a game that came about, like, it was on Steam and it looked like a 64 game. This is Bunny Girl. I forget the name of the game. And a lot of people gravitated and started playing that game, even though it looks like a 64 game. And it's a modern game, but it looks like an old game, and it's blowing up on YouTube. And I saw a lot of videos for it. I'm like, okay. Even I looked at it, I'm going, well, if I have a couple bucks, I might throw some money at it, because I think that kind of style is, to me, I still gravitate to that kind of style, but it's very popular in one sense of it, but on Twitch, no one knows about it. Like, in one place, it might be popular, but another place, no one's thought about it at all. It depends on where you are. And because it's not popular and people not playing it on Steam, there might be still a lot of people playing it on PlayStation or Xbox because, those consoles are alive.
We were just talking the other day. I mean, I played and streamed a game from I think it was PS1 when I did Final Fantasy VIII and Legends of the Dragoon.
Yeah,
I went back and played that game. To me, that's a testament of how good the game was.
mm-hmm. How you want to play that game again? You want to
How
relive
do you
that thing.
Look at the more gray at the top now.
Mm-hmm. The
I
camera's
think
not
that look-
getting
I
a
think
real good look of it.
I think it looks a little better because the white was making me feel Kiss.
Yeah.
Whereas the gray makes me feel more haunted, you know?
Yeah. If you really want to make the gray pop more, just little splats of black and little splats of white. Just like kind of like, because the skin tones might be somewhat different in one other area. She could definitely layer it for sure. But yeah, so I just don't think kids nowadays, there need to be more games developed with a single mind focus. And so for one thing, keep kids more focused, and two, let them appreciate a game that you can live throughout and want to go and relive again later on. When an online game, you can never relive the experience you had in that game ever again, because once you did it one time and the game shuts down, you're not going to relive that whole experience all over again. Because people try to do that with World of Warcraft, and they admitted that they could not relive that first experience that they first had in World of Warcraft Classic. You just can't. That was that time, that era, that online games cannot relive it one time. But a single point game, you can relive that multiple times.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like I love playing Fable, the second one.
Which
one
is
of my
the best
favorite
game of both of them.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite games, and I don't know how many times I've played that game. I couldn't tell you, but I can always go back and play it as long as I have that disc, because I am not dependent upon anybody else or anything else. Now, don't get me wrong, I love playing games with people. That's why I was talking to you the other day, about what we talked about. But the true test of a game is, can I go back to it 5 years later and play it again and want to play it again?
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be a couple years from now. I would want to hey, I want to relive Zenless Zone Zero, which is my sponsor right now. But a couple years from now, I'm gonna it's gonna be gone. I'm not gonna be able to relive it again because there's no copy or the physical version of that game. And I'm sure even if I did manage to find a way of playing it again, I wouldn't have the same experience because I probably won't get the same characters. I'll probably get some different characters and be able to level them up higher and make them stronger. That realistically, I wouldn't be able to do. Because the game won't be from my first time experience, my first time playing it, and then my first time enjoying it, because I've already had that experience. But again, they could say that about stories, but I feel like
All
some
right.
games you
Well-
forget about certain things about it.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it's that time, my friend.
All
That's
right.
all.
That's pretty good.
All
pretty
right.
I'm
So,
thinking I could probably do better with my makeup kit.
You probably can.
yeah. So, okay, everybody, just stay tuned, stay on this channel, and within the hour, we'll be starting the D&D stream. So if you're here for the D&D stream, stay tuned. I gotta change over the thumbnail. I gotta change over the title. I gotta make some stuff for food. We gotta get the camera set up. We gotta get everybody in the call. So it'll take a little bit. So be ready. Stay tuned. I hope you're ready for tonight. Hope you go see some real interesting. So
Bye,
I'll see you
guys.
later. As always, have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good life. Much love, y'all. Bye. Beep, beep.